The mist hampered would-be rescuers throughout the night. When it lifted with the dawn, even those who'd been on the scene through the hours of darkness were shocked by the carnage. Both aircraft had been ripped into pieces. Few and far between of the many thousands of these pieces were those recognizable as having only a few hours before been part of an aircraft. The runway was carpeted with the pieces of wreckage, mingled with the remnants of passengers' personal baggage. The pictures can show this horror. They can't convey the stench of the dead, of the smouldering still of the two aircraft, a stench which hung over the airport long after the last flames had died and the last bodies had been removed. Once this task had been completed, the workers seemed, not surprisingly, to hardly know what to do next. Most of the dead were still strapped in their seats as though ready for takeoff. One mother was still clutching her small daughter to her bosom. The witnesses could only talk of the horror of it all.
Well, my first thought was, wait, the fire engines would come out there. But then it got so bad where we were, and we knew they weren't coming, that we had to get off. And I knew that I wasn't going to stay in there and burn up.
And how does it feel to be a survivor in what is the world's largest air crash?
It feels great to be alive. I'd be lying if I said anything else.
We had already been told by the tower that the weather at the field was 500 meters and the centerline lights were out, which meant that we couldn't take off. As a matter of fact, the captain had said that the field was below takeoff minimum. It was our intention to go down to the end of the runway and wait until the weather did improve. Proceeding straight ahead, when we first saw the landing lights of the KLM Flight. At the first time we saw him, we thought he was still standing still, waiting for us to clear the runway. And in the next second, we saw the lights moving, and the captain said, I think he's moving, and about the same time, we saw the airplane, and the captain went for full takeoff power on the throttle and made an immediate left turn to try to get us off the runway. And at that time, after we had made about a 30-degree turn, I saw KLM start his rotation, bring the nose up. And at that time, it wasn't just an instant later that he hit us. At this airport, just like all international airports, the English language is the language used by all controllers and pilots. And the command was understandable.
She was out right away. I got her out, I would say, within 30 seconds, at least. I mean, that's a pretty realistic thing. The next girl that I got out was Terry. She was sitting in front. I was slinging people at the rate of, maybe one every 30 seconds. I'd say I was in there maybe 5 minutes when the stewardess died. I left. That was it. We blew up the ramp, and the third explosion came, and she disappeared. And I said, I can't do any more.